Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cheryl Nkosi, for those of you who don't know me, and today we're going to be continuing to talk about how you can have a happy period. So let's get into the video. Alright, so today's video was pretty much part of a poll that I ran on my Twitter feed, and I asked people if they wanted to know how I ended up starting from having a 10-day period to having a 2-day period, and then from there how I managed to get a hold of the pain. So we're going to talk about a few things. So we're going to talk about what period pain is, the various methods you can control the pain or manage the pain, and lastly, ways to pretty much regulate your cycle. So let's be looking down at my notes because I thought I should write things down here. Not a lot of notes, but pretty much period pain, which is medically referred to as dysmenorrhea, is when a person experiences cramps and pelvic pain with their menstruation, and common causes are a heavy flow, passing clots, fibroids, or endometriosis. Now for me, I've pretty much had painful periods for as long as I can remember, but the things that have helped me pretty much, so the things that we're going to talk about are pretty much what products I use to manage my period. So we're going to talk about 6 products. So I'm going to start off by telling you guys my experience with my period. So with my period, I've had issues with insomnia, swelling on my legs and my feet, as well as low iron, which has resulted in me having menstrual migraines. So to combat that, I've started taking melatonin, which is a natural free radical, which can be found in the pineal gland. I think that's how you pronounce it, pineal gland in our bodies. So pretty much just kind of increasing the amount of melatonin that your body produces so you can relax and sleep better is important. Second thing is I use iron. So the iron that I've been using at the moment is the Vitabiotics iron, and this is what the box looks like. If you can't find that, Ranferon 12 works amazing. I used this in Zimbabwe, I used this in South Africa. You don't need a prescription for it. You can just find it under your supplements aisle or in your supplements aisle. Then next is deep heat patches. I use the Deep Heat brand of heat patches, but if you can't find that, Star Balm. These help so much when you are cramping. You put them on, they're discreet, you can get on with your day. It's like having a hot water bottle that you can have on the go. And if you can't use heat patches for any reason, I would suggest that you get the hot water bottles that you heat up in the microwave from Dis-Chem. The lavender one is great, especially if you want to get to sleep, because lavender is great for relaxation. Then for swollen legs and feet, I use this deep heat rub. Unlike Voltaren, it doesn't have any diclofenac in it. It's all natural. So yeah, I mean the active ingredients are menthol, eucalyptus oil, and turpentine oil. I've spoken about the methods that I've used, and here are some methods that I also recommend that you give a try, So I've got a notebook here of my notes so I can go in order. So we've spoken about melatonin for sleeping and taking an iron supplement so that you can pretty much maintain a good amount of iron during your period, before, during, and after your period, so you don't lose energy, you don't pass out, and your feet and your legs don't swell as much if they do already. The next thing that I'd recommend is trying out, herbal options. So I would suggest drinking parsley tea. It helped me a great deal in my teen years. When I got to my 20s, didn't help as much, but I would recommend that you give it a shot. Also CBD oil, if you're in South Africa, you can get it at Dis-Chem, you can get it at Clicks, and you can order it online from Faithful to Nature. If you are in Zimbabwe, you'd have to contact me personally, and I can direct you to someone who is a trusted source where you can get CBD oil from. And you have to make sure that if you are going to choose to take CBD oil that is THC free, the THC is kind of what is known as what gives you the high. So if you're taking CBD oil without THC, you're not going to get high. It's more so to help you with anxiety, sleeplessness, and pain. The next thing that I would say is to look at medicinal options. So if you can't use CBD oil, you can't take parsley, you can't use herbal options. The two things that I recommend are ibuprofen and mefenamic acid, and I've used these personally and they work well. If you have stomach ulcers, I would greatly say do not take ibuprofen, because especially when you're on your period, you'll be sensitive. Your stomach and your gut will be very sensitive. So I would say don't take ibuprofen. And if you are going to take mefenamic acid, take a small amount of it. So mefenamic acid is commonly known as Ponstan. If you're going to take that, take small amounts, and make sure you take an anti-acid like omeprazole or esomeprazole. So let's move on to alternative methods. Okay, so in my last video, I mentioned that I started using the pill to regulate my period, and I think it's something that we don't speak about enough. Again, I'm not a licensed medical practitioner, so I don't necessarily have the scope or the range to talk about these things in detail, but what I can say is, for me, in my personal experience, Zoli and Clara have been godsends for me. They help me regulate my period. My period was lasting more than 7 days, sometimes more than 10 days. And then I got onto the pill and my period was 2 days, 3 days max. And another thing is, if you do have a very long period, if your period is lasting more than 7 days, go see an OBGYN. Ask them about I think it's a hormone, I guess, called northisterone, and it's often used to stop heavy bleeding. Ask them, if it would work for you. Don't just say, I want this, prescribe this, but speak to your OBGYN, speak to your gynae, speak to your GP if you don't have a gynae, and speak to them about how it would work for you. I used that and it helped me stop the excessive bleeding, which eventually stopped the menstrual migraines, and I started feeling a lot more comfortable. After that, I decided that I would get back to using the pill and regulate my period, because I had started taking a new pill that didn't work too well for me, and then I decided to stop it midway, and then that's when everything went left. But if you are going to take the pill, please make sure you speak to a gynae or a GP about your options before you just start prescribing things for yourself. So I hope this video helped. I feel like I was zapping through and I was speaking so fast, but I hope that it helped. Thank you for watching.